What is going on? Thank you for clicking on the video. Today we are going to be talking about must draft sleepers before the NFL draft even kicks off. Before we know landing spots, these are the players that intrigue me the most that are likely going to be drafted later. Maybe they won't even be drafted at all. I don't know, but these are prospects you need to know about. They should be on your radar. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. The first sleeper we are going to talk about is Malik Washington. Malik Washington is a 5'9", 191-pound receiver who played his college career at Northwestern, a 40-yard dash, and his burst score ranks him in the 97th percentile according to Player Profiler. Washington also put up back-to-back productive seasons at Northwestern before transferring to Virginia, where he racked up 110 catches, 1,426 receiving yards, and 9 touchdowns. That is silly production. On tape, Washington displayed the ability to get open and is really good after the catch. Virginia involved him in the screen game, and he was even asked to throw a pass or two during his time there. Washington mostly lined up in the slot, but displayed the ability to stretch the field as well. And at times he did struggle against press coverage, but there's no doubt that he's an extremely talented player who fits the mold of a modern day NFL wide receiver with his size and his yak ability. Malik Washington is a sleeper to draft, a must draft in your rookie drafts. Another prospect I'm not leaving my rookie drafts without is Tyrone Tracy. Tyrone Tracy is one of the most interesting prospects at the running back position in this year's NFL draft because he started his career at Iowa as a wide receiver, then eventually made the switch to running back later on when he transferred to Purdue. And in his final season with the Boilermakers, Tracy ran for 716 yards on 113 carries. He averaged 6.3 yards per carry, caught 19 passes for 132 yards, and scored 8 touchdowns. Tracy's metrics are also very good. He ran an impressive 4.48 40-yard dash at 5'11", 209 pounds. Additionally, his burst score and agility score are both in the 90th percentiles according to Player Profiler. This is an older prospect. Again, Tracy is 24 years old, but he could just be the type of running back that makes the most out of his opportunity in the NFL, given his skill as a pass catcher. There's a lot to like about Tracy. He's the modern NFL running back. He can catch passes, and he's good running the football in between the tackles. There's a lot to like there. The steam on this next player is rising, and it's rising fast. Kamani Veal proved that he was a tough, physical running back at Troy. In back-to-back seasons, Veal put up 1,000 yards rushing. In his final season at Troy, Veal ran for 1,661 yards on 297 carries, caught 18 passes for 201 yards, and scored 15 touchdowns. That's absolutely ridiculous production in college. Athletically, Veal answered a lot of questions as well. He ran a 4.46 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine. At his size, which is a tad short, it's not a huge deal. He's 5'8", but he's 213 pounds. That 40-yard dash time is very impressive. Additionally, his burst and agility scores are well above average, according to Player Profiler. And on tape, Veal is a great runner with good enough size. Again, he's not as tall as we would like him to be, but again, that's not a big deal for somebody like me. He is a good pass catcher and should be able to develop in pass pro. Veal also displayed good contact balance running in between the tackles, one of the better prospects I scouted in contact balance and the ability to stay on his feet. He isn't perfect, but Veal is a lot better than some people give him credit for, and it wouldn't shock me if he sneaks into maybe round 4, round 5 of the NFL draft, maybe even a little bit higher. This next prospect was one of my favorites on tape, and that's Rasheed Ali. He's a running back who was uber, super, mega productive in his sophomore year at the age of 20. In that season, he rushed for 1,401 yards on 250 carries and caught 46 passes for 342 receiving yards and scored a total of 24. That's right, 24 touchdowns. It's unbelievable. And Ali was mostly absent the next season. He only played in 3 games, citing mental, physical, and emotional health problems. However, in 2023, Ali returned to form. He rushed for 1,135 yards and caught 28 passes for 213 yards and scored 16 touchdowns. It's Ali's pass catching ability that really puts him over the top for me. It's also his ability to find the end zone so often that makes him such an intriguing prospect. I believe such things translate to the NFL level. On tape, Ali is a solid runner who would be great in a one-cut stretch run scheme. Ali doesn't have top-end speed, but he is fast enough to be productive at the NFL level. Some people might scoff at a prospect from the University of New Hampshire, but that would be a mistake. Dylan Lobb. The only opportunity that Dylan Lobb received to play up in class was against Central Michigan. And in that game, he caught 12 passes for 295 yards and scored a total of 3 touchdowns. Those are video game-like numbers. That's ridiculous. In his final season at New Hampshire, Lobb caught 68 passes for 699 yards and scored a total of 16 touchdowns. He also saw some work as a returner, and this is going to help him get on the field in year one, especially the new kickoff rules. Some of these teams neglected the return position. Guess what? You can draft Dylan Lobb, and he can serve as a running back and a returner for you. This is going to help him out. And on tape, Lobb displays the skills to be an effective player at the NFL level. He is the new age running back in the sense that he excels as a pass catcher. However, there are some other skills Lobb has as well. He displayed the ability to run both inside and outside the tackles effectively, and he has great hands and the ability to run multiple routes as a receiver. His 4.54 40-yard dash time isn't great, but it's not the end of the world either. It's fast enough, and at the end of the day, Lobb proved that he is athletic enough to belong in the NFL, and he definitely needs to be on your radar, especially in those PPR leagues. Jem Bell is a tight end that you need to know about in a class that's devoid of talent at the tight end position. Jem Bell is an interesting prospect to say the least. Bell was productive as early as his sophomore season at South Carolina. In that season, Bell caught 30 passes for 497 yards and scored 5 touchdowns. That's solid enough production early in his college career. That production did dip in 2022, but after transferring, he caught 39 passes for 503 yards and scored 2 touchdowns. The one concern about Bell is his size. He's only 6'2", and that's small for a tight end, but he makes up for it with his athleticism, especially in the receiving game. And on tape, Bell showed the ability to adjust to the football, make difficult catches, and is really good after the catch with the ball in his hands. He struggled as a blocker, but overall there's a lot to like about Bell as an offensive weapon at the next level. Sure, he's not going to be the do-all tight end, but he can do enough things, especially as a pass catcher, that I think some NFL teams are going to be intrigued by him. We saved maybe the most polarizing prospect for last, and I don't even know if this counts as a sleeper, but I'm going to talk about Spencer Rattler, and this is a super flex only kind of sleeper, but Spencer Rattler deserves some attention. Draft capital and situation are going to be, in hindsight, to Caleb Williams. Williams turned out to be a much better prospect than Rattler, and it's fair to say that many other college quarterbacks would have lost their starting jobs to Caleb Williams. I mean, that's just a fact. In his time at South Carolina, Rattler performed adequately. Sure, he didn't blow anybody away with his performance, but it was time for him to reset, reassess. Rattler was consistent at South Carolina in back-to-back seasons. He passed for over 3,000 yards and threw for over 18 touchdowns. My guess is that some NFL team is going to draft him much higher than people think, given the state of some of these NFL teams. I mean, think about the Las Vegas Raiders. Think about the Denver Broncos. These are teams that need a developmental quarterback. They might miss out on the top 4 or 5 options, and who knows what might happen. I mean, Rattlers might be available in the second round. He might be available in the third round. That might be a better option for some of these teams than taking a quarterback like Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr. in round 1 or round 2. We'll see, but my suspicion is Rattler is going to go a lot higher than people think on NFL draft night. Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe the video. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, be good, everybody, and we will see you later.